Hi Taurus, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with your reading, what you need to know for February. I'm using the Fountain Tarot deck. The first card that we have out is the Magician. You can have some plans for February. There can be something that you're cooking, something that you're creating, having the Ten of Wands next to it. This can be something that feels like it requires a lot of energy from you. There can be thoughts about whether or not you want to keep doing this. I'd say that it's something that you're working on, not something that you're at the point where there's a full or finalized product. However, you can feel like you're working on this, or you have this intention here, and at the same time, having that Ten of Wands can feel like it requires a lot of energy from you, and so you can question things because of that. Like, is that a normal amount of energy for me to be spending, or is that an okay amount of energy for me to be spending in order to do this, or do I feel like it's asking too much or like requiring too much, and then like, is that going to still be worth it to me? You know, like these things are the types of thoughts that you can be tossing around your head. I actually see that things are going to be getting easier. The more you're working at this, I am seeing things are going to get easier. But yeah, you can hit this spot in February, and I say that this is towards the beginning of February too. You'll hit a spot and you can question like, do I want to keep doing this or not? But then seeing that Six of Swords, I'd say that things are going to settle down a bit. Like things are going to definitely get easier. Just needed a jump off point. Some of you too, you can be putting a pause on this if that's possible. Like you can be running into some points where maybe there's going to be a little bit of a delay or a pause, or maybe you're going to rethink some things. Maybe there's some stuff that you feel like, let me just put this here for now. Let's get more about this. Okay, I'd say that there's something that has to be worked out, something that has to be figured out. It's going to be helping you open your mind. Because it feels like there's too much stuff that's going on and you can feel like it's clouding your energy. But then I'm seeing there's going to be a breaking out of that. And I think breaking free from that old perspective as well. So you can be going into quite an eye-opening time. You can be seeing your work differently because of this. And I'm seeing too that this is going to give you motivation. It's going to give you motivation. You can even be feeling like you're getting your spark back. Will feel like a breakthrough for sure. But it comes through some type of experience that you're having that I feel like opens your eyes in a spiritual way or energetic way, where it takes you out of your old perspective, your old way of seeing things. You know, like, it's never the environment that changes, it's our perspective that changes. There are routes that we can go down all the time, and so we can stop really seeing them because we feel so familiar with it. Whatever this is that happens, I feel like it allows you to see things new again. It allows you to see things in a crisp, clear way again, and that may have been something that you were losing before. And then I'm seeing, and it has to do with like what you've been doing. Like this isn't like I'm going to start a whole new project now. I'm seeing this have to do with what you've been working at, and you're going to be seeing it with that perspective. And I think too that there may be some like easiness that's going to be flooding into, like more fluidity that you go through this process with. And I also see you feeling like you're catching something that's helping you move forward. Maybe bringing something back that you were feeling off with before. Like I see creativity, I see imagination that's coming in, and this can even be like creative problem solving. This can be inspiration that's connected with your everyday stuff that you have going on here. Like some of you, the Hanged Man, the foot is reminding me of a ballet slipper. Like maybe you're doing something to just shift the energy around. Some of you too, maybe there's something physically that you're going to be doing, or just something that helps you get into more movement. Yeah, Magician, Eight of Swords is when we feel stuck, like locked. I don't know how to proceed from here. I don't know what to do. And you can say, like, this is what I want to do. I just don't know how to do that. Or, like, I'm having some ideas, but then I'm feeling stuck with that. Or I have this idea, but then I don't know how to translate that to action, even can be. Any more about this? You can feel kind of stumped initially. If you're used to being able to do things and get things done and being effective, I feel like this is going to feel like a challenge to you where you may not feel like that, but then you're going to work through it. It just may be something that feels a little bit discouraging initially. Anything else about this? I'm seeing the devil be there. So this can be fear. This can be... That's funny. So the devil, I went to clarify Eight of Swords and the devil is popping out. And on the bottom of the deck, for the deck we're using, the devil is there too. So I feel like this is just saying time and time again. Okay, so having the devil be there, the devil represents, first of all, Capricorn. The devil can also represent fear. The devil can represent being stuck within something and wanting to free yourself of it. It can be connected with something that can be cutting away at your perspective as well, your problem solving. Can just like introduce something here where you're feeling like in an unworkable situation, but I'm actually not seeing that be the case. But it can be something where you feel like maybe it takes away your freedom in some way, can be how you perceive this. Or something that is encroaching upon that, like it may want to usurp that in some way. So yeah, with the devil there, I'd say that this can be something that you feel like is potentially controlling you, but then let's get further and see. I want to see what else this is connected with. Like maybe it's something that you're working within and you're like, well, I want to do this my way, but I almost feel like that's not possible in this situation. So you can feel like you have to compromise in some way that maybe you don't want to. And you can feel like in order for me to do what I want to do here, like this may be the only way that I can do that. I'm seeing a lot of air energy that's here, like a lot of throat chakra that's connected here. We have the Magician, we have Eight of Swords, we have Queen of Swords, and we have Ten of Wands. So you can feel sort of like you're maxing out here. But then something happens, and I'm not seeing what the event is, but I'm seeing something happen, and I'm seeing it feels like pressure building, 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 and then it's like air is getting let out of it, and then there's like a decompression that happens. But I'm not seeing what it is that is the catalyst for this. I'm just seeing building, 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 like, whoa, there's nowhere else to go, and then it's like the pressure is relieved. Like the pressure valve gets hit somehow and it lets that air out. But you can feel like it's like knowing that you're filling up this balloon and it's about to pop, but then like right before it pops, it starts like letting out air, so then the balloon doesn't pop, is the best way to describe this. And I don't know what it is that lets that air out. Well, actually, we have Hermit here, so maybe putting a pause on things. You can even go into space and be like, okay, I need to stop doing and I need to reflect on this. I need to pause and reflect. And then that's when that pressure is released. But you could have felt like you would burst if you continued. And in a mental way, this is like mental pressure. But you can also feel tired because of it too, or be like, everything just feels like it's not doing anything here. But I am seeing that you feel better after this. But things can be on a bit of a different timeline because of needing to do this. Like, I don't think that you planned for this. I don't think you were expecting for this. But I also don't think that that matters either when you get to that point. It feels like this is needed. Like, need that time to pause and to think about stuff. And things really do feel more settled then. It's like you stop putting all this pressure on yourself. And things... Okay, so I guess at that point, everything comes back to being balanced again. It's like you see the way through. After much turmoil. And then things are working again, and then things are functioning again. There was like some type of anxiety that had to be released, or like some type of mental block that had to be released, but it took time reflecting in order for that to happen, and it can take time pausing in order for that. And I also see too this thing where it's like the resolution for this is not in the same perspective. It's in an alternate perspective. So whatever it is that you have to do to get connected with that, that's where the answer lies. That's where the key lies to this. And that key is the thing that hits the pressure valve, so then the air can come out. And then it feels like things stabilize again when they hadn't been. Like there had been a very uneasy building that was happening, and it's not supposed to get to that point. Then it comes back down, and then there's the like pressure stabilizing. And then you just continue the work. You continue what you're doing. And feel too like you're in that spot now where you're like, okay, I can take it from here. That will be the feeling. I'd say that this happens around mid-month. I'm hearing Excelsior with the Ace of Swords coming out. After that point, I'm seeing things become very, very easy for you moving forward. As far as connecting with the energy that you need and feeling fueled and like there's that sense of purpose and like you know where you're going, that will be the feeling with this. And it feels too like you can relax then at that point. Like things really are back on track. I think in the last third of the month that feeling is going to be there, and it's going to ride out until at least the end of the month. It will probably continue after that, but I'm not reading past the end of February, so I can't say for sure. But as far as what I'm seeing here, I'd say the last third of the month, things are going to feel like they're settled, like there's that sense of like I know what I'm doing. And that's not to say that it's like no effort is still being put in, but at the same time I'm seeing you feel much more relaxed, so you feel like there's not that stuck anymore. There's a feeling of things just moving the way that they need to be. So you start the month where you can feel actually pretty stuck. Then I'm seeing the Hanged Man be there, which is where resolution is found. And then I'm seeing there be a peace of mind that you close out the month with that you didn't have before. Where there could have been like this energy and needing it to go somewhere, but then it being stopped from doing that, the pressure building, but then things get moving and you know where you're moving, and there's a sense of confidence within that, like you feel sure. And it can feel too like I've been going through a stressful time, but I'm seeing there be quite a significant breakthrough that you experience here. Things feel like they're resolved, and you can feel like, okay, now I can move forward. You're going into a time where things are being figured out, and this can be even on like an everyday or on a practical level. You doing a little bit of this, you doing a little bit of that, and overall being at a point where I think after the like in the second half of February, you're going to look at yourself and what you're doing and be like, wow, I really know what I'm doing here. You're going to have that feeling. I do think too that the way that things come into a place where you feel like they can work like that is maybe a different way than you initially thought. It's the notion of if you have a problem, you have to be like one plane higher or like a frequency higher in order to resolve that. And that is really where the solution is found. It's not in It's not in that old way. Let's see too. Let's clarify the Hanged Man and see if we can figure out like what tactic you use to accomplish this. You connect with what's important to you. You connect with what feels like it has the deepest meaning. For some of you, there can be like a guide that provides something instrumental to you moving through that point. There can also be something that you connect with that you see as like providing you with some type of guidance, even if that's like you connecting. I'm hearing soulmate, even if that's you connecting with your soul, your spirit guides. Whatever it is, it feels like it helps like rearrange things and make clear the bigger picture, and you can see like what's really important to you here. Interesting. Hierophant is going back in with the devil. I wonder if there's something going on tangibly that tries to come into focus and make itself more important than it actually is, and it can like take you out of an inspired energy and be trying to like force your hand in some way. But then I'm seeing you reconnect with what's important to you. It feels like reconnecting with your heart is the thing here, and maybe something was going on where you were coming out of that energy and you had to reconnect with it. And this is the part of you that has that spiritual intelligence. And that's the thing that actually ends up soothing your mind as well. It's kind of like the mind can't resolve an issue that the mind created. It's the heart that has to do it. It feels like that to me. Like the spirit has to do it. I think your anxiety can be the thing that stresses you out more than anything, or when you feel like you don't immediately automatically have a solution, that can be when you start stressing a bit. But then I'm seeing there be an ease that you step into of helping you gain the necessary perspective here. And then also too, something about being very, very deliberate about where you're channeling your energy. That's a key piece of this too. And it being like about your well-being, about your peace of mind, about grounding, and it helps you ground this intention that you have as well, and things can move forward. You're not stuck anymore. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.